there are people who light up a room when they walk in, and then there's Barry Shore. Barry Shore lights up the world every time that man takes a breath. It is absolutely amazing and delightful. And Barry is going to share his 3 vital tips for vitality. Hang on. This ride's about to get really interesting. So help me welcome to the studio, Barry Shore. Hello, hello. Turning on the tech. Look at you. You're a tech monster or a tech tamer.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Now, wonderful Jackie, how can I make the categorical statement that the thousands and tens of thousands of people that are watching are all good-looking? Because by definition, if they tuned in to this important life-supporting, life-saving webinar, seminar, summit, are all looking for and finding the good. That's a good-looking person. Looking for and finding the good. And we love you, Jackie and Katie, and all the wonderful beings that have presented, dancing, moving, creative, loving, caring, intuitive. What a pleasure to be alive. Thank you.
Hey, Barry, I'm so sorry that you are not more enthusiastic about being here.
I was trying to build myself up to
that.
That's vitality, Vitality.
I'm impressed.
Actually, I am as well. I just thought I spelled it. We're going to do a number of things today, but I want to urge people to understand the title that you heard, 3 vital keys to being vital and living vitally. We're going to talk about that in context of giving my bona fides so people won't just say, well, who's this crazy guy that you brought on? I mean, it's easy to be him because look at him. He's rich, he's handsome, and all these good things. Well, it's true, rich and handsome, but it's good to hear the backstory.
Hey, wait, whoa. Rich and handsome I got, but Barry, are you single?
I am a singularity.
Ooh.
As is every single being. And when you recognize that you are a singularity, and then that the world needs you, to paraphrase wonderful Jackie said, heaven doesn't need another angel right now. The world, we need all of us together working. So let's start with this. Imagine the following, everybody. Imagine standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and that night be in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed. And it wasn't from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease, Jackie, that I never heard of the day before that rendered me quadriplegic, completely, totally unable to move. 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. You can see my hands. They don't look like yours, but I have hands. I had braces on both my legs from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand made for me by a Zen master, but I still can't walk up a curb by myself. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. And it's all because of one word, Jackie. One word kept me going through some really intense, how should we call it, difficult moments, being paralyzed. And that word is smile. Smile. Okay, Barry Shore. Smiling through all that? Well, yes, but you got to understand what it is, because the way we speak, and Jackie and I have worked together for a number of times, and I am deeply humbled and honored that she asked me to be here today and to present, because I care. That's why I did this. I care. It's a simple reason. What we've done.
So you took everybody on this journey so fast, Barry. And I want to slow it down for just a minute for people. Because what were you doing before you got sick? What was your life like? Take us there to the day before.
Joy, happiness, peace, and love surrounded and infused my life. Happily married at that time. I was 55 years old when this happened. Married for 27 years at that point. One child, a son, who was as yet unmarried because he was just 17. And thank God I had done very well in business, had my ups and downs, but overall did very well in business. Was very happy with my life, me meaning me. I was involved in something that I'm going to be speaking about at length when we have the opportunity, which is service. I'm really happy to tell you, Jackie, because when we discuss the 3 vital keys to living in vitality, living vitally, that upon reflection, I recognized that it was the service that I was involved in, the volunteering that I was involved in, the giving process that I had been involved with that really saved my life. I mean, mentally as well as physically, because the day before I was hale and hearty, able to do all kinds of things that anybody can do. And the next day I'm completely paralyzed. And now the key comes, okay, Mr. Shore, can you walk your talk? Well, I couldn't walk at all. What are you going to do now? How are you going to live with and through a situation where, to everybody watching right now, you say, hey, Barry Shore, you're completely cured, right? He's moving his arms, he's doing this, he's speaking, beautiful tan and such. That's from swimming outdoors, which we're talking about. I can't sit up from this chair. From the waist down, I'm still basically paralyzed. I can move. I don't walk like anybody else does. I walk on my hips. It's everything. I was told by most doctors, you're never going to walk again. Get with the program. Well, we have got lots of things to help you. And I want to go right now and talk about going fast, but I think it's really critical to hear these words that we're going to talk about, Jackie. When I was released from the hospital after 144 days, and that was because the insurance wouldn't pay. It was already over $1 million at that point. Real money. It costs real money to have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We won't even go there. The point is that the diagnosis that was given to me was heard by me, but not internalized for me. Now, it took me a number of months, maybe even a couple of years, to frame what I'm about to tell everybody. But this is critical for everybody watching, who will watch, and who will be shared with. And it's this: diagnosis is not destiny. Diagnosis is not destiny. And that coincides with the 6 most important words that any human being can learn. And if you can learn these 6 most important words, if you can internalize, utilize, and leverage them in your life, then you can begin to live life exuberantly. And I don't care what your situation is, because I just told you my situation to give you how should we call it, a low point, right? You don't get much lower than being in a bed, unable to move for years. And the 6 words are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. So we talked before about that one word that kept me going, and the word is smile. You say, well, okay, smile, come on, Barry, a smile on your face. Well, that's because it's part of this process that I share with, teach, utilize to all that will listen. And thank God I've been able to help thousands and thousands of people, as Jackie knows. Because we live with the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1 is life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, doesn't matter how big or small it is, you can go mad. Now, in this case, MAD is a wonderful word. It's a great acronym because it stands for make a difference. You can make a difference when you lead a purpose-driven life. And the third part of the fundamentals of living is to uncover and unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms, just like we did. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day.
There we go.
Miracles in life every day. That is the key. So, Jackie, let me mention to you, pre-COVID.
Hold it. Pause. We got to get that into the chat so everybody can get the fact that SMILE is an acronym for See Miracles in Life Every Day. There it is on a card. Oh, all right. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now we have it on tape. Thank you for humoring me with that, Mr.
I
Barry.
am here to serve. That's
You're delightful. All right. Keep going. You're on a roll.
I'm mentioning to you pre-COVID, and thank God we're through COVID. We're going to be human, interacting with humans again. So I was speaking to a group, must have been about 5,000 people, and I tell the story about Barry Shore, and I tell them SMILE, seeing miracles in life every day, and invariably people are raising their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, been up for hours, right? I haven't seen any miracles. You know how people are, right? I haven't seen any miracles. And I ask people, are you here? Can you hear? Can you see? Can you stand? I can't stand still. Can you walk? Do you have water to drink, food to eat, place to sleep, family, friends? Every single one of those, wonderful Jackie, is a miracle. And what's the simplest proof? Simple proof, which is 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. If you're watching this, you're hearing this, guess what? You didn't, by definition. If you didn't, you have an obligation to live exuberantly. Live life to the full with purpose. But I got to tell you a better story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a couple of weeks ago. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell SMILE, S-M-I-E-L? And I thought about it. SMILE, why not? How come? It sounds the same, right? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. 8-year-old, out of the mouth of babes. What was she doing though, Jackie? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. She was envisioning, she was causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. And that's really, I think, goes to the root, the heart, the soul in this clash that we have in our society and throughout the world with this terrible plague of suicide, and especially teen suicide, especially. I did research before, and it just tears the heart that the second leading cause of death in age groups 10 to 34 is suicide. Mm-hmm. That is in the most prosperous, the most opportunity-laden society in the history of humankind. Mm-hmm. So what is it that's causing this clash between abundance and benefits and feeling what I call the journey from sad to joy? Now, again, I use acronyms because words I think are critical. They're in my book. Let me just hold up the book. You had it before. It's called The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy. 11 strategies for learning how to do that. So the process is called SAD to joy. SAD stands for stress, anxiety, depression. Those are the factors that impinge upon the human. And again, if you're 10, 15, 18, 23, 32, those pressures can be enormous to the point of so powerful that the elephant is sitting on your heart, as you say, talking about elephants. But the journey is sad to joy. Now, what does joy stand for? Generating ongoing youth. Generating ongoing, by the way, people raise their hand and say, Barry Shore, generating is not spelled with a J, but we go by sound, not just by letters, huh? Oh, hello, everybody. Loosen up, get with the program. Sad to joy, from stress, anxiety, even depression, to generating ongoing youth. Because when you see yourself as a generator of youth, not just being young, and again, young is a state of mind, not a chronological determination.
You are one of the youngest people I've ever met, Barry, so I absolutely agree with that.
Thank you. And because I'm a joy generator. So that's what we're going to talk about, the 3 vital steps. So let's just use that as our segue, S-E-G-U-E. That's how you spell segue, everybody. S-E-G-U-E. That's the segue into these 3 vital keys. And if we're able to put these keys into our system, and by the way, everything Jackie knows is going to be on our website. Should I say the website? You'll say it later, or we'll tell people?
Don't worry. We're going to give them all your links and everything. We got you covered.
Yeah, it's all free. Free. I love you. By the way, I love using 4-letter words.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to use a lot. I even use the 4-letter FU word. So get ready. And people say, why do you do that? Because of the shock value and it's fun. But the 4-letter words that we use in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, 4-letter words that we use are life, live, hope, grow, free, gift, pray, play. 4-letter words. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, yes. F-U, capital N, capital N. Again, people raise it, Barry Shore. Fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after this, when you see your family and friends, I want you to point your finger, have a twinkle in your eye, a smile on your face, whatever SMILE stands for, and point your finger and say, F-U, everybody. Remember to add right away capital N, capital N. I said, where'd you get that? I said, well, I was listening to this very interesting show that Jackie Simmons put it on about preventing teen suicide, and had on this nut. And he said, teaching the world to F you, capital N, capital N. Fun. And they'll love it. And then they'll say, what was it about? And then you can talk to them about the real deep, powerful, purposeful, pleasant tools, tips, practices that we're going to get into right now. Because these are those keys that when you use them, not only will you help your life and the life of your family and your friends, but that ripple effect never ends. There is no such thing as a wall closing off positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant energy. And when you're a joy generator, that's what happens. So let's look at these 3 keys. Here we go. You ready, Jackie?
I am ready, Barry. I warned everybody to hang on, that the ride was going to speed up. All right, here we go. Lay them on us. Number
one is breathe. Breathe. You're talking about Barry Show. Of course I breathe. We're talking about breathing in such a way that you are invigorating your very body. See, everybody breathes in what we call a shallow manner. You're breathing into your lungs just to keep your physical structure alive. What we want to talk about is this: conscious, loving breath. 3 important aspects. A conscious, loving breath. It's also known as diaphragmatic breathing, Jackie, but nobody can spell diaphragm. They don't know where it is. So
they call it belly breathing.
Yeah, so I call it breathing into tummy. Everybody knows what a tummy is. Hello, touch your tummy. Tummy, very nice. So we want to be able to breathe in through our nose, deep into your tummy, and then gently allow it to leave through your mouth. It takes about 7 seconds, maybe 8 seconds. And we want you to do this 4 times in a row. Whenever you feel some element of stress or anxiety or depression, this simple, effective process will give you that, what we'll call just that next little bit of lease on life. Remember, we're talking about conscious, loving breath. You see, when you really do love yourself, which you do, we all know you do. The reason you tuned into this, by the way, I don't care where you are in the spectrum of stuff. This show is not about Barry Shore. It's not even about Jackie Simmons. It's not even about Katie Miller, as wonderful as everybody is. This show is about you. Y-O-U-E-W-E, because you make a difference. You're mad. You're a very inspiring person, as Jackie says. And whether you want to, oh, no, not me. Yes, you. Y-O-U. The world can't go on without you becoming the best you. When you do that, you build bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. So learning to do this conscious, loving breath into the tummy, I recommend doing it twice a day. Once before noon, once afternoon, for 11 days in a row. It's very important to do this 11 days in a row, twice a day. By the 12th day, you'll be consciously calm and aware, knowing the following, that you can touch the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence of you. And when you do that, you know what happens, Jackie? You open up and unclog the twin channels of giving and receiving.
Oh, I like that, Barry.
Giving and receiving. Both of those aspects of life are vital. We're talking about vitality. Vitality means alive.
And you're right, they are both part of breathing.
Yeah, if you can only give, you're going to exhaust yourself. And if you're only receiving, you're going to become a taker. And neither of those are good for living in harmony. Balance is a nice word. It's not what I recommend and urge people, because balance to me sounds like somebody on a teeterboard or juggling inside it. I like harmony. I like in the water. Just think of me as Esther Williams. And those of you who've never heard of Esther Williams, just Google Esther Williams. You'll say, I am the male Esther Williams. Okay. But the point is unclogging the twin channels of giving and receiving. This simple, effective, fun, F-U, capital N, capital N, process will make a difference for you. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want people to say, Barry Shore, you're crazy and I love you, and it works. It works. Okay, that's number one. Are we ready for number two?
Yes, we are. I am ready for number two.
As aside from number two, everybody knows what number two is out there in the world. So we will make a note, please, Jackie, to ask me about dog poop.
Oh, we're gonna be swapping some dog poop stories.
Yeah, okay. We'll do dog poop. Okay, but right now number two is, drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. Become a joy generator.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, okay, Barry Shore. What is that? That's like my decoder ring if you were, in the Starship and all that. So what's a joy generator? Well, when you go to my website, which Jackie will give you, the URL, you'll go to the homepage. There's lots of wonderful things there, a lot of free stuff, but you'll scroll down somewhere on the homepage towards the bottom, and you'll see a video of me teaching you how to become a joy generator. Now, again, let's set the stage. What does joy stand for? Generating ongoing youth. Youth, by the way, is another great word we won't talk about at the moment, but just think, generating ongoing youth. And you're going to learn to become a joy generator. It takes all of 55 seconds to be a joy generator. 55 seconds. If you don't have 55 seconds twice a day in your day, something is wrong, because you're alive for all those hours, right? So you're going to learn to be a joy generator. You're going to generate joy for your family, your friends, and all living beings.
Oh,
you're going to learn how to do it. It's so cool. I have, thank God, personally trained over 11,600 people to do this all over the world. And people are doing this every day. I can almost feel the energy sometimes. And I do it in the morning and in the evening. And I feel like I'm connecting with somebody because of people all over the world. But again, the point is that energy that is directed, that is conscious and conscientious, never gets destroyed, never can be stopped, especially when it's positive energy. Now, it happens with negative energy also, but positive energy that is directed, that is conscious and conscientious, cannot be stopped. When you are a joy generator for your family, friends, all living beings, and again, you're going to do this exercise, it will take you 55 seconds. 55 seconds, less than a minute. You're going to change the energy patterns in your own physical being, your own physical and mental being. Those are the people around you. Those people who are not even around you, but you're thinking about. And it extends everywhere. There is no barrier. I want everybody to understand that. Just as there's no barrier to love. And let's mention love just for a moment now, Jackie, because if there is anything that is foundational to preventing suicide on any level, but especially teen. It is that knowledge in the tummy, not just in the head, that love is true, real, abounds, and is directed towards you. I want to say this to everybody watching, and you need to share it with whoever it is that in your life. I have a dear friend. Her name is Irma. She taught me something decades ago. She said this: teach with everything you do. If necessary, use words.
There you go.
I love you. Okay, that's very nice. Teach with everything you do. Demonstrate love.
You know, the biggest thing is the belief, not that love exists, but that I deserve it, that I am lovable.
I am worthy. You are worthy. We need you. Do you hear this? We need you. You make a difference. You're mad. Yeah, Barry Shore said, go mad, and F you too. He said F you to you. Capital N, capital N.
Capital N. There we go.
Okay. So that's number 2. Become a joy generator. And you're going to love doing it, by the way. And I really want to hear from people, because what happens, Jackie, is that people wanting to, and they do, teach others. And one person happens to be that is a Chinese woman, and she loves to brag because she knows that she has taught 371 people directly. And she says, I have no idea how many thousands people are touched by it, but she said, I'm 371 people, Barry Shore. Okay, are you ready for number 3?
I am ready for number 3.
Okay, this one is truly my personal favorite, but it's just so close to the other 2, so I can't say it's the big favorite, but it just edges out because it's just so F-U. Capital N, capital N. And here is what it is. Ready? Drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. Skip.
What?
Skip. See, wait a minute. Did you see what she just did? Did you see her response? She is doing 3 things at once. I'm telling you what Jackie's doing right now. She heard the word and she laughed, because she was visualizing either herself or somebody she knows skipping, and she was reenacting her 7-year-old self. That is what skipping is great for. You see, walking, there's just no question that walking is one of the most beautiful things a human being can do. I know, I did it for 55 years. I'm vertical and ambulatory today. Again, I'm a triped, not a biped. And right now I happen to be walking using a walker because I fell down, just as an aside, I fell down recently and broke all 5 of my toes. Oh. Had to have emergency service, toes all out of shape, pins in my toes, forget all that. But the point is, to be vertical and to walk is a treasure. To run, oh, what a pleasure, what a delight. It does bother the knees after a while and the soles of the feet and such like that. But both of those are great. But skipping, you see, if you just skip a block, 38 seconds, you skip by yourself, especially if our people are watching and it's raining out. And don't worry about people watching. Do it anyway. And if nobody's watching, that doesn't matter. Skip. Now, if you can skip holding the hand of somebody you actually like, whether that person is 7 years old or 77, it doesn't matter. Skip holding onto the hands of 1 or 2 people on either side. Wow, a double skip. This is vitality. These are the items, the keys to living in a vital way. See, we're not talking about buying things. We're not talking about giving gifts. Oh, by the way, both of those are very nice. We're talking about breathing. We're talking about generating joy. We're talking about skipping. These 3 things for you to incorporate into your very being. By the way, incorporate, corpor, means the body, to incorporate them into your physical structure and into your psychic structure, your spiritual structure, and to do them conscious and conscientiously, there is no question that shift will happen. Now, the interesting thing about the word shift, Jackie, S-H-I-F-T, for some reason, I just don't know why, most people tend not to be able to pronounce that F so easily, and they drop it and they say something else. It's really shift happens.
It is.
That's what happens when you skip. That's what happens when you breathe in your tummy. That's what happens when you're generating joy. You're going to end up looking like a Barry Shore. Yeah, beard and all. I don't care if you're a woman. You're going to look like me. See, but again, it's not about me. It's about you. Y-O-U. I learned these skills, perfected them, worked with them, because I was in a bed, in a hospital, unable to move anything on my body. I'm going to mention an exercise that I think would be instructive for people, but I urge you not to do this more than once or twice every year. And even then, you can't do it for more than 8 seconds or you'll go crazy. You ready?
I'm ready.
Tonight, when you go to sleep, on your back, arms at your side, legs out, gently breathe a little bit. And then say to your toes, you can't move. Feet, can't move. Legs, can't move. Fingers, can't move. Arms, can't move. Torso, can't move. Again, don't do this in more than 8 seconds because you go crazy. That was Barry Shore. Years. Nothing in my body moved. I had time to examine myself, my situation. What am I going to do? What's going to happen? My wife, my son, my world. Was I in a difficult situation? Was it sad? Did I have stress? Anxiety? Depression? Did we move from there to joy? Remember, generating ongoing youth. It took me 2+ years to be able to sit up in bed with help and put my feet over the side of the bed. That's it, just that. I envisioned that every single day for years, Jackie, because that helps as well. Visualization is a wonderful thing. Visualize yourself being happier, because when you are, guess what's going to happen? You'll be happier, healthier, talking about physical, mental, spiritual, and wealthier. You will find that you will attract into your life.
Uh-oh, you got muted, Barry. I don't know how that happened.
But we're rectifying it.
No. All right.
He is no longer muted. You don't want a muted Barry Shore.
I was going to say, I could just imagine meltdowns happening all over the world from the energy being stuck inside the wires. Yeah.
Okay. So the key is, again, utilizing that which you have been given, visualization, and acting upon it. So let's just move, before we go to dog poop, because I really want to talk about that. I want to share with everybody another idea that it will cause a great shift for everybody watching, listening, and sharing. And that is that the joy of living can be summed up in one word: giving. 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 When you choose to be a giver, you will shift yourself a millimeter in terms of your psychological, physical, spiritual, mental outlook. And you will cause a change in the entire pattern of the world, because that's how important you are to the world. That's how inspirational you are to the world. That's how much the world needs you. When you choose to become a giver. Remember, we talked before, the 6 most important words you'll ever utilize, internalize, and leverage in your life. Those 6 words are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. You want a destiny of living without stress, without anxiety, without depression, choose to be a giver. And what's the best application of this? Become a volunteer. Become a volunteer. I'll tell you a Barry Shore story, may I?
Well, of course you may. And I'm going to just stop because I'm going to pause for 1 second before you tell the story. My kids have teased me for years that they didn't get a chance to volunteer because I voluntold them.
I love Jackie Simmons because she is using her own life to share with us and teach me. Thank you. Yes, what we're not talking about is being voluntold. What we're talking about is shifting yourself. By the way, self stands for that you are a soul experiencing life fully. When you recognize that you're not your body, that you're a soul experiencing life fully, you can make this shift. Yes, volunteering is a choice. And choice, not chance, determines your. When you choose to say, I no longer want to live with this stress. Mm-hmm. I no longer want to live with this anxiety. I no longer want to live with this depression. Choosing to make that decision will begin the shift, and it will happen rapidly when you do the next step, which is asking the 4 words. How can I help? Ooh. Now, the best way is to find the next word, but generally start with the 4 words. How can I help? The next one is, if it's possible, how can I help you? So I'll give you the Barry Shore story.
All right. Lay it on us.
And this story saved me over $2 million. That's a lot of money, isn't it, Jackie?
It's a lot of money. Okay. We like 2 million. It's a nice, easy, even number.
Yeah, well, actually, it's more than that, and will continue to grow because here's what happened. It was approximately, oh my, it's more than, I just realized even more than I thought. It was about 1980, 81. So let's call it 80. Let's say it's 40 years ago. I was 32, a mere sprite, and I was living in a wonderful community in Venice, California, around very like-minded people. A number of families have moved into the area. We're part of a wonderful congregation. And 2 people who live nearby who I was very fond of. They've since passed on, both in their late 90s and full health and vigor. But at the time, they were only 60-something, just 60-something. And they said to me, Barry, I love you. Would you like to come with us to, we visit what I guess they call them old age homes, right? Mm-hmm. These nursing homes, such like that. We go on Sunday mornings, and we go for the basic from 9 in the morning to about 1 in the afternoon, 3 or 4 different places. And we have about 6 of us. And we like you because your energy, I was like this then, your energy, you can sing, you can hold hands, we can do things, party, okay, whatever. I said, hey, I'm in. So we went. Now, anybody who's ever been to old age homes, just even saying the words hurts me. But if you go in them, even today, in the best of places, the best, and this is Southern California, so these were better than most, there is a noticeable odor that envelops one as you walk in, and certainly gets stronger as you're more inside. And of course, you're surrounded by older people, usually in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, who are on the way out. They just don't want to, they're clinging on. And in various states of incapacity, both physical and mental, and surrounded by nurses, attendants, who do try to show that they care, but they are under enormous pressure all day long because people, they're needed. And there's only so much can be done. And family doesn't usually come around so often. That's a different story. So here we go in, 6 people. I'm actually 3 or 4 of them all rolled into one, but yeah, 6 people. And we would do this. We'd go in 3 or 4 of these nursing homes, a half hour, an hour at a time. And I'm singing and holding hands and doing whatever I can to make people dance and skip and such. And I wouldn't call it fun. It was more like FU, capital N, capital N. But it was, interestingly enough, it was invigorating. Didn't feel like that. Afterwards, felt a bit difficult. But after I did this, I think we did it at least 2.5, 3 years. And just because of situations, we didn't do it as much. We would only do it one home at a time. But why do I fast forward now? So why did I talk about $2+ million? Because I made a decision. I made a choice. I did not want to be in an old age home at the age of whatever, when I would be potentially infirm. So I asked one of my friends who was with us, a woman, nice lady, and I knew she's in the insurance business. I say, I don't want to be here. Was there anything we can do about this? She says, yes. I got to think back 40 years. They just brought out a new product called long-term care. Mm-hmm. So long-term, I'm not an insurance business, by the way, but long-term care is a policy you can get that enables you to be at home and have somebody in your home take care of you when you're in that certain state of being infirm. I said, please, let me see it. What is it? I didn't say how much does it cost. May I have it? She said, well, a lot of people think it's expensive. I said, okay, what's the price? I said, how much? Okay, was it real money? Yes. It wasn't $10 a week. It was real money, many thousands of dollars. But I bought it, myself and my wife, as did, by the way, these wonderful 60-year-old people who were visiting with me. I bought it at the age of 45. In other words, I didn't buy it right away. I bought it at the age of 45 because she advised me, wait a couple of years. They bought it. Happens to be that they use it in their 90s, and I'm using it today. I became paralyzed at the age of 55, which means I would normally have been in a old age home.
This is true. At the very minimum, a rehab center.
Minimum. And even then, only for a little bit of time. And that means my wife would be taking care of me all the time. And what that does for a marriage, and the strain, the stress, the anxiety, the dear Lord said to me, sure, you have enough of a brain to do this. And that policy has already paid, Jackie, over $2 million. So I'm saying that unbeknownst to me, by saying, what can I do? How can I help? I was helping me. I'm saying that to everybody. I want you to be selfish. And I'm going to prove to you why selfishness is important. You ready? I'm going to prove it with something else, not Barry Shore.
All right.
Most people have been on a plane, and thank God we're going to be able to go back flying again as I have. You go in the plane, in the front of the plane, they teach you, if there's a loss in cabin pressure, there's something going to come overhead, and if you're traveling with a child or someone acting like a child, what are you going to do? Counterintuitive. Normally you say, well, I put it on the child first. I want them to be okay. Then I put it on me. And they're instructing you and telling you counterintuitive, put it on you first. You need to be breathing and calm. Remember, we talked about breathing, calm. Mm-hmm. Now you can help someone else.
It's very hard to help someone else if you have not taken care of yourself first.
Hello. So we're going to talk about now the 2 most important words in the English language.
All right, I'm ready. Actually, lay them on me.
Self-talk.
There we go.
You agree with me, don't you, Jackie?
I absolutely agree with you. It's
self-talk.
I'm a firm believer. It is what's happening behind my eyes and between my ears that matters.
So let's define what self-talk is in the Barry Shore way.
Well, remember, there we go.
I already told you, stands for
I got the self.
You're a soul experiencing life fully. And talk stands for teaching, always, love, and kindness.
Ooh. All right, I'm getting it. Teaching.
Wait a minute.
Always, love and kindness.
And kindness. You even got Jackie. She loves this one. That's who you want to speak to about you. If your friend came over and said, I need your help, would you say, I'm too busy to speak to you right now? Of course not. I'm talking about a dear friend coming to you and bearing themselves You wouldn't just use your ears, you'd use your heart and your mind. You would listen deeply. You would try to listen. It's a skill. And you wouldn't answer right away. So, yeah, but what about that? You think. You may be able to answer and give advice right then, or you might say, you know, I need to think about this. This is real stuff. But you will always speak to them with love and kindness. How much more so your very being, speaking always love and kindness, because you're a soul experiencing life fully. Teaching always love and kindness. When you do that, you're going to make a shift. Now let's talk about dropping the F and talk about that stuff. Dog poop. Dog poop. What is the matter with this guy? What's his obsession with dog poop? Well, because everybody knows what it is, because that way I get your attention, don't I? Ah!
Yeah,
So
you don't struggle too much with that, Barry. I'm just saying.
I have attention deficit disorder. I am an add-on in life. Okay. Dog poop is a fabulous acronym that everybody should learn, in addition to the buzzword. Because dog poop stands for doing of good, power of one person.
Ooh, doing of good, power of one person.
Remember, you make a difference. You're mad. Live life with purpose, and you can go mad. You make a difference. You make a difference. You volunteer to serve breakfast on Sunday mornings, to sweep up the house for an elderly person, to visit somebody. And by the way, when I say doing something, pick up the phone and make a phone call and talk to somebody you haven't spoken to in 2 months or 6 months, and especially to somebody that you don't like. What do you think doesn't like you? Yeah, you like that one, Jackie, huh?
No, I don't like that one.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what you do. Pick up the phone, and especially if somebody you don't like or you think you don't like, and say, hi, just want to say hello. What? I thought you didn't like me. Who said that? Don't have to get to an hour conversation. Just say, look, I just thought I was thinking about you. I wanted to say hello. That's it. Because you're going to begin to use this kind of language.
Oh, okay. Wait, this one says, did I tell you today how much I appreciate you? Ah, good question.
When you can internalize that phrase, and you can speak to somebody who you think you don't like, or you think doesn't like you, just, did I tell you today how much I appreciate you? Then you're activating that muscle called your soul, experiencing life fully, teaching always love and kindness. When you start doing this, I'm happy to tell you, you're going to ruin your life, because you are being depressed and stressed and anxious. Yeah, I want to wallow in despair. No, you don't. We're not talking, again, we're addressing people who don't have chemical imbalances and things like that, because that's a whole other issue.
Exactly. That's why this is pure prevention.
Yeah, this is prevention. By the way, to that end, I want to tell you, in preparation for this, I went and looked at, again, I did it a number of years ago, and did it again today a couple of times, an amazing video. It's only about 7 minutes. If you ever want me to send it to you, Jackie, I will. About the fire department in outside of Chicago, Illinois, which has become the #1 fire department in the country for no fires in their district, or reduction. Yes, because they embarked upon teaching people about prevention. Rather, in other words, people think fire departments put out fires. This fire department recognized, wait a minute, that's kind of dumb. Why should we wait for the big thing to happen and put out a fire, i.e. suicide, attempted suicide, blah, 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 blah. How about prevention? There is a very old saw, a very old proverb, a very old saying, which is so true, but it's worth repeating. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Absolutely.
This video is so important, because the people who are in it said this. I'm going to use this phrase. They say that in the firefighting world, they have 200 years of tradition unimpeded by progress. That's what the fire department said. This particular fire department said, we have 50 years of progress unimpeded by tradition.
There we go.
Now, I'm saying this because I love Jackie Simmons. She doesn't get enough love in this. I'm giving more love. Because what she's doing is she is the fire prevention squad. She is the one who's going around saying, F you, tradition. F you, capital N, tradition. There may be another way, another 10 ways, another 50 ways, and we're going to find them. And whatever it takes, we're going to step in dog poop every day. We're going to make shift happen. We're going to tell people, tell the world, F you. We're going to learn how to become a joy generator. We're going to breathe in our tummies. We're going to skip because we have years of prevention unimpeded by tradition. If we find something that works, great. We might use 20 more things that work. It doesn't matter. But it only care about you. This is all about you, not Barry Shore. As fun as he is, and he's pretty cool. As fun as Jackie is, or as fun as Mark is, or Katie Miller. It's all about you. We love you. As I'm parting, so I guess you want me to go now? Is that
we're going to have to wrap it up as much as I love talking.
So let's do two things for the wrap up. I'm going to do a huge hug in front of all these thousands of people and teach you what HUG stands for. And then I'm going to give a blessing. So HUG stands for harmonizing, unlimited giving.
Oh, that's beautiful, Barry.
Harmonizing, unlimited giving. So this hug is going to Jackie, but it's really for all the thousands of people that are watching or will be watching. Ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Our blessing. Go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference.
Thank you so much, Barry. I so appreciate you making time to be on the show.